Hello, Justin Bergeron here. I'm here to inform you about aviation today. So, if aviation is something that scares you, it's probably not something that you're going to be super interested in getting into. But for me as a kid, I always thought it was a roller coaster. If I knew a trip was coming up and I got to fly, that was probably more exciting than the trip itself. And so obviously I knew that I wanted to get into aviation. It wasn't until about halfway into college, I'm 60 credits in, and I decide, this isn't for me. I was wildlife, and then I dabbled in computers for a little bit, and I said, these aren't me. So I said, there's the local airport. You go to your local FBO at the airport, and they can hook you up with an introduction flight, and that's where it began. You literally walk on, you pay your $50, and they get a driver's license from you, and you're sitting in, they did do a little bit of background first, but you're sitting in the pilot seat of this little 2-seater or 4-seater aircraft, and the world just changes. So I currently hold my private pilot's license. I am working on my commercial license. I took an intermission for about 2 years. I was in the military as a Black Hawk mechanic, so I was still in the aviation field. I got injured, and I was planning on getting my helicopter license, which I still may do, but I was planning to become a pilot for them until I was injured, and so they got me out here to get my commercial license in Las Vegas. So working on your commercial license, that's going to take typically a couple, maybe 2 to 3 years, and a lot of flying time. But once you finally achieve it, then you can start working with aviation careers. And so a good one that you can get in with is Pilots to the Rescue. They are a great way to promote God and His values, and as well as spread the word. So what they do is, for example, there's a group here in Las Vegas, and they take sick and ill patients and they fly them to Los Angeles, to where some of the bigger hospitals are and more specialty care. And so this is for patients who maybe don't have access to the 4-hour car ride. Maybe they're too critically ill to be able to be in the car for 4 hours. And so it's a flight of an hour that just gets them there a lot quicker. Another organization is the Mission Aviation Fellowship, and they have 51 light aircraft. They work out of Africa, Asia, Eurasia, and Latin America. And their 17 locations are able to get the locals the desperate help that they need. They fly them from one village into the city where they can actually get medical treatment. For example, they say that an hour-and-a-half flight is equivalent to about a 7-day travel period for what the natives would be without them. And so once you have your commercial license, you can start flying. Typically, you'll start flying smaller aircraft, like 4-seaters, 6-seaters, and these are your Cessnas, like 172s, all the way up to, for example, this group has the 210s. And then you can get into your high, those are high horsepower, but you can also get into your turbojets, your props, or your turbojets. I meant turboprop and then your turbojets. But anyways, so as you progress through your career field, you're going to also progress in plane size. Every company you get to is going to have different requirements. So for example, you might start out most likely as a certified flight instructor, but then you're going to move into the Postal Service, or that's an option anyways. That's my plan, is into the Postal Service, where you're flying single engine Cessnas, and it's shorter flights. And so typically a commercial pilot, the average salary is $113,000 a year, and they're required to retire at the age of 65. Captains on international flights are around 100,000, regional flights are 50,000. So before you become a captain, you need 1,500 hours, flight hours to get there. Before that, you're going to start out with your commercial at 250 hours, and so you're trying to fill that gap. And so once you get through all of that, then you can kind of start getting higher pay, and as well as getting into more positions that are more unique. For example, I want to get into a position where I am dumping water on forest fires. And so we can help, we can go actually around the world and spread the love and help these people who their lives would be devastated without them getting in there. If you are interested in any further progression with this and you want to get out there, go to your local airport and check out the FBO that you want to get to, and it's typically $50 for an intro flight. And otherwise, a couple of volunteer organizations that you can get into is pilotstotherescue.org, angelflight.com/pilots, or I guess, yes, as well as volunteerpilots.org. Thank you.